day 2 of the Selenium Live project. This is the day 2 demo session, and my name is Shagor. I'm one of the team leads that will be working on the project. For those of you who were able to join our day 1 orientation or day 1 demo session, welcome back. And for those of you that are attending for the first time, welcome. And so basically, just wanted to let you know today's agenda is going to be the application under test. Basically, the application we're going to be working with as far as this live project goes. If you wanted to get some information, if you were not able to attend the first session, please do so. It is available on our website at iTeLearn.com, and you should get some of your questions answered. But any other questions you have from previous session or this session, please do put it on chat, and we'll address it as soon as we get a chance. Basically, when we're talking about the application under test, this is our basically, this is the application. It is called AnyAUT, and this is one of our flagship products for iTeLearn. And just so you guys know, we do work on many different projects, many different development and testing projects. And this is one of the tools that we built in-house, and this is something that we're very proud of. And it is basically my privilege to present it to you guys. And what AnyAUT is basically, it's a test automation framework for user acceptance testing. And what I mean by that, I'll actually show you the tool in a minute. I'll show it to you really quick. Actually, this is basically what the tool looks like. This is one of the versions. This is the AnyAUT orange version, and I'll get to that in a second too. But just wanted to give you guys a quick peek what the tool looks like. And what it does is basically, sorry, give me 1 second. Okay, so basically what the tool is used for is to actually run your automation tests within the tool. And what the tool is built on is Selenium, Core Java, and TestNG in the background. However, the benefit of this tool is you will not have to write the codes using Selenium or Java. It is all written in the background by the developers. And after I'm done, one of our team leads, Sridevi, she will go ahead and give you guys a walkthrough of the AnyAUT Orange, and we'll also get a walkthrough of the other version, which is AnyAUT Peach, that is going to be done by one of our other fine team leads, Minal, and we'll get a experience with both of those tools. But basically, overall, the tool it is a combination of data-driven framework, keyword-driven framework, and using page object model. And as I said, the benefit of the tool is you're not writing any codes, but you are able to automate you are able to create your test cases, the test steps, all the test data element mapping, and all of that. You also have basically built-in keywords, and you're able to create user-defined keywords. And basically using these reusable components, you're able to I guess execute your test cases much more efficiently instead of repeating steps. And after you're done, finishing your test setup, creating all the test cases, the test steps, creating all the reusable components, you are able to execute these test cases and eventually create a report based on the results that we get. And once Sridevi gives you guys a walkthrough, you guys will have a much better understanding on exactly how to use the tool in hand. So all right. And basically, the two versions that I mentioned, this is what they are: AnyAUT Orange, and the URL is listed here, as you guys can see. And AnyAUT Orange is free for a single user. However, there is an enterprise version, and it is basically built on PHP in the front end, for the front end UI. And AnyAUT Peach, we have used the different technology, and I'll get to the architecture of the two different versions in a second. But this is the URL listed on the screen here. It is also built for, there's a paid version which is built for, a small team of QA, which is 10 members or less. And the technology used for the AnyAUT version, AnyAUT Peach version, is AngularJS in the front end and Node.js used for the back end. And using these technologies that are, used today in today's industry, you can basically expect faster execution, much more efficient processing, and it's just a much better user experience and much better design, if I might say. Now, as far as this live project goes, we are going to have two different teams, or actually two types of teams, let's say. Now, what we have is an intermediate level, and this is also going to be, I guess, what do you call it, separated by your different skill levels. So let's say if some of the participants, they're not comfortable with a lot of coding, but they are, they do want to get a very good hands-on experience with the testing process and automation process. We are going to use the AnyAUT Orange version that I showed you guys before. And basically, we're able to get a very good experience with the AnyAUT Orange and see exactly how you're able to use this and just, build your, your test setup and your test execution, how to do it very seamlessly, very nicely, very easy. And you'll see how this could be, very beneficial for a tester or for a team of testers, just to improve, efficiency and productivity. So just wanted to let you guys know that basically we're going to get a hands-on experience with this tool and learn the ins and outs of this tool and see exactly how everything gets processed in this tool. Other than that, the advanced level team that will be based on, I guess, the participants that feel like they're up to the challenge and they would like to get even a better experience, getting to, I guess, being part of a development process. And what I mean by that is not just testing and creating automation scripts, but you want to go even further as far as participating, in building AnyAUT Peach. And while I talk about AnyAUT Peach, let me go ahead and bring up AnyAUT Peach on my screen so you guys can see exactly what that looks like. So this is the AnyAUT Peach version, and basically this tool is still under development. We have an excellent team of developers working on the tool as we speak, but the benefit for you guys, for the advanced team, is that you actually have this fine opportunity to be a part of this development process and help, I guess, what do you call it, have this experience on your resume and sharing this experience with the development team in order to bring this tool alive. Right now, AnyAUT Orange that you guys see here, AnyAUT Peach will share, of course, most of the functionalities, but it's even better, and that's what we're going to talk about next. We just want to let you guys know exactly what the differences are, or what the upgrades that we're anticipating from AnyAUT Peach, and it'll make more sense to you guys. So first I would like to talk about the architecture of AnyAUT Orange first, and then you'll see the difference with AnyAUT Peach. The basic architecture of AnyAUT Orange is, obviously we have a web UI and this section here. So if you look at this section here, you'll see that the web UI is built on HTML and PHP, where you can actually you can create your modules for your application. You can create the test cases. You can create the test steps, enter the detailed test steps, and you can even create the reusable components. Now this will be presented by Sridevi, and you guys will get a chance to see exactly how we go about creating them. And once a user creates all this modules and test case and test steps here, what happens is eventually using Java, Java TestNG and Selenium WebDriver in the background, what happens is the application AnyAUT Orange, it will actually create a Excel exported Excel file, which basically can be used with a driver that we can install locally on our PCs. And using this export file, obviously using the reusable components, using the test cases, the test data that is needed for our automation test scripts, we can then, basically do cross-browser testing and execute these test steps. And eventually, this will be done with the core engine in the background, with the business logic that is, that is there, that takes in the information, and using Java, NG, and Selenium WebDriver runs this script in the background. And eventually, what happens is when we get the results, we can generate HTML reports as well as get an display on our dashboard. So you'll be able to see exactly the reports on the dashboard. Now, moving on, we want to give you an idea of what the tool is going to do, or exactly what are the steps in order to use this tool properly. I want to welcome Sridevi. She's one of our team leads, and she'll be giving you guys a walkthrough as far as what the tool is supposed to do. Okay, Sridevi, so if Roxana, if you can make Sridevi the presenter, she can go ahead and give the participants a good experience of the AnyAUT Orange tool.
Thanks, Shagar. That was a very good introduction. And are you able to see my screen? Hello?
Actually, we don't see it yet. I just stopped sharing mine.
Are you able to hear me? Are you guys able to?
We can hear you, yes.
Okay.
If you want, I can just, actually, are you getting the option to share your screen, Sridevi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Click on the play button, right?
That is correct.
Oh, yeah. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yeah, now we can see your screen. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Shagar, once again. And hi, team. I'm Sridevi. I'll be one of the team leads. And today I'm going to give you the walkthrough of the AnyAUT application. And it's an amazing tool in the testing world now, because it makes the tester's job so easy. And like everything is so many things are inbuilt in this, and you can use it. So it's a time to explore this tool. And once you log in, this is the dashboard that you get to see. And you can see here the modules, test cases, and test steps. I guess you're familiar with the manual writing the manual test cases. So this is the same, like you divide the application into modules, test cases, and test steps. So here the menu is on the left-hand side. I will just walk you there. And here the test plan, and then the test steps. And the test steps, the first part is the AUT, that is application under test. So here you have to mention what the application that you're going to test. And then comes the modules that you select from the application. And here is the description and the ID and the name that you give to it. And then in that module, so you write the test cases belonging to that particular module. And here is the description of the test case and the test ID. And then you write the test steps for the test cases. So, and then the important feature of this is the reusable components. In the reusable components, you have what is called, you have the element map. This is the element map where you map the element locators, and then the test data, which can be used, and the user-defined keywords. Like you can define a keyword, and then here we have a great library of built-in keywords, which are reusable. This really makes the work of a tester very easy, because the number of steps can be reduced, and with the one keyword, we have a big library of built-in keywords. And like, for example, like navigate a browser, or a click button, or click text, So in that way, each keyword is associated with a is like a method or a function. So then when you call that particular keyword, so that particular function triggers and then performs the action, whatever action you needed, like to click a button or clear a text or open a browser or anything. So that is the the very important feature of it. And then after that, after you write it, after you write all the test cases, test steps, and this thing, then just a second, we're exploring to the test setup. Once you go to the test step, I don't know why the screen is not opening, but it is showing me, do you want to download the Excel file? So, whatever the test step that you have done, I think let me just go up and show here, maybe after you write the test cases.
Sridevi, are you trying to view the file, the exported Excel file?
No. I wanted to come to this page.
Okay, sure.
Test setup, actually, it allows you to select the test cases, whichever test case you want to run. You can select the test cases and you can save the test and run the test. So then it'll ask you, okay, here. So then, as we have seen before, it has asked me whether you want me to download the test setup. Then when I say open, it'll download for you. This is the one for the previous one, which I have done, given for the test cases, test data, and like you can see which application I was working on, the modules and the test cases, and also the whole Excel sheet will download for you, which has all the data that you have entered. And when you run the test, it will run the test for you. Yeah, when you run the test, you have some little prerequisites that you should have 4 GB RAM and download any desktop jar file. And then after following these steps, you can download it, you can run the test, and you can download the results. And here is the test results. So again, you choose a file, and then whichever you want, you can choose a file, whichever one you want to run and have the results. Then you will have it'll download the file for you, and you'll have the results of it. So I hope I've given all the features of the AnyAUT tool. Thank you, Shagor. Shall I pass it to Meena?
Yeah, sure. I'll actually take over from here, and I'll go ahead and thank you, Sridevi. That was excellent. I hope the participants were able to get a really good, view of the AnyAUT Orange tool and what are the features and functionalities, what are the benefits, how easy it is. It's such a wonderful tool. Once you start using it, you'll find your life just got so much easier. Now, what we're doing
is then it'll be answered in the question answer session at the end. And thank you.
Yes, yeah. For some of you who have have some questions, we will definitely get to your questions. So just give us a few minutes, and we just want to get through some of the details, and most of your answers should be answered. So what we wanted to talk about is, if AnyAUT Orange is such a good tool, why are we looking to build a better version or a different version, which is AnyAUT Peach? The thing is, in this world, in this industry, in the job market, everybody's looking for efficiency. Everybody's looking for a better, a faster, a more accurate tool that can provide good results or better results. And so that's where AnyAUT Peach comes in, because it does provide faster test creation. You can actually input user story, and when our team lead Minal will give you guys a walkthrough of the AnyAUT Peach, what we have developed so far, you'll get to see some of that. But not only that, it also has suggestive keywords optimization. So once you start typing something, it will start suggesting different keywords that is available as a built-in keyword, or even as a user-defined keyword if you already have created it. It does have better reports, dashboards using Tableau, and which is a really good feature. We're really excited to incorporate it into our AnyAUT Peach design. And most importantly, it is cloud-based execution. and that means speed, that means efficiency, that means speed, accessibility, and once you guys get to work on this tool, once you have some of these functionalities come live, you'll start feeling that, and you'll start to see what we mean by that. Yes, and also it is built for a small QA team, because the speed and efficiency and faster processing and the turbo code that turbo feature that we are looking to install, which will run multiple test cases parallelly, up to 20 test cases, what we're anticipating, we're trying to reach. It won't need a big QA team, so you'll be able to get a lot more done, individually. With this tool, it has such great capability. So now, moving on, we want to talk about the AnyAUT Peach architecture a little bit, and we can see how it is a little different from AnyAUT Orange. Now, AnyAUT Orange, if you can remember, the UI, the graphical user interface, was built on PHP and HTML, and here you see that we're using AngularJS, Node.js, MongoDB as database, and Express.js to create our user stories, run and results, just like you saw, and also the reusable components. And then eventually what happens is, we have a Excel report that goes into a core engine. Using all that information, it gets processed in the background again, with using Java, Selenium, and TestNG. And eventually what happens is, you have, again, using a local execution on local PCs, using the jar file, we are able to execute these test cases, much faster, much more efficiently, using, running multiple test cases parallelly, and eventually, create the reports that we need in order to make our presentations or, provide our results. But instead of just simple HTML and Excel report, we can actually using Tableau, we can actually provide much better, much more sophisticated reports and produce them on the dashboard as well. Now, this is the basic architecture of the application. And at this point, I would like to introduce our team lead, Minal, and she will give you a quick walkthrough of the AnyAUT application.
Sorry to interrupt, Jagor, but were you sharing your screen? Because I was not able to see anything.
Oh, I'm so sorry. All right. Yeah.
I was also just seeing my screen. I stopped sharing my screen.
Okay, so let me just share my screen real quick. Do apologize. I didn't have that option because I think I have to be made the presenter. Yes, so I'll just show you guys real quick. We didn't really go through much. I just wanted you guys to take a look at the architecture real quick and try to get a good idea of how the AnyAUT Peach design is and what it is that it's doing. It's basically divided into 4 different different areas of functionality, and as I said, that this would be number one would be the graphical user interface, and 2 would be the core engine that uses TestNG, Java, and Selenium to basically run these test cases. And then eventually, once the test cases get executed on your local PC, the reports, as I said, it's going to be produced on the dashboard using Tableau, which means much more capable, much more presentable reports, and which is used in today's industry. So yeah, having said that, I will like to have Minal come in and give us a quick hands-on with the AnyAUT Peach application and see what that looks like and what we can do so far and what it is we're eventually I'll go ahead and talk about how we can make it even better. Okay, Minal? If someone can make Minal the presenter.
Yes, Minal is the presenter. Yeah.
Okay, Minal, we can see your screen. You can get started whenever you're ready. Thank you. Minal, we cannot hear you. I believe you're on mute. So if you'd like to start over, I'll go ahead and unmute you.
Yeah, can you hear now?
Yes, we can
Yes.
hear you now. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yes. Yeah, no problem. Yes, hello team, welcome. Now I'm going to talk about AnyAUT Peach. AnyAUT Peach, it has two features, join us and login hyperlink. And now I'm going to, this is the AnyAUT Peach page, home page. When we join, if you want to become a member, so first we have to enter the first name and last name. Have to enter the last name and then email ID. And then have to enter the valid password and have to enter the company. Like, for example, I'm giving XYZ and the designation should be as QA tester. And the phone number 501, I'm just entering for example. And the country I'm giving as United States. Once we enter everything, only it will get enabled. So the last name I have to enter. So now it's enabled. So once we give register, then we can go to the login page and we have to enter the email ID again. This is the dashboard for the page. Once we created the valid email ID and the password, after the successful login, can see the AnyAUT Peach dashboard. It can be creating application in the test steps, test cases, and modules, keywords. And users can create the user story, and the automation scripts are also in the background. When called upon, they get executed, and eventually AnyAUT Peach will also generate reports using Tableau. And one of the biggest advantages, as my team member told, one of the biggest advantage is this is like upgraded version from orange to peach version. We are trying to run up to 20 cases at the same time in parallel. Also using latest technologies like Node.js and AngularJS, MongoDB, etc. It's going to be much faster and more efficient. And make the process easier. It will be make the process easier to work with easily. This is the big part we are going to working with it. The project will be like definitely very interesting because we are going able to make all functionalities live. And this is the framework we are going to build as a team. And we have a great development team working on that. And if you want, you are going to work with team directly, all as a developing then framework. We can to be part with the development team. This is going to be very interesting, and this is going to be very good for resumes to showcasing as a part of talking about it and interview also. And getting planned for if you have any questions, please put on the chat windows about this, and my team member will help in that about the questions. Thank you team.
Thank you, Minal. Thank you. That was excellent. Thank you so much for that presentation. Now users can actually get a good idea of what the AnyAUT Peach looks like so far. We are looking to add more functionality soon. And as Minal said, this is such a great opportunity for to have that wow factor on your resume, because you are going to be closely working with the development team, offshore team, and this is where you can have such a good team building experience and and you know, the experience, an experience that you can actually talk about in your interviews or on that step up in your career. And this is such a good opportunity for all of us to be able to work with this application. I will just share my screen. If someone can make me the presenter, please. Roxana?
Minal, can you please stop sharing your screen?
Yes, got it. Okay, now you guys can see my screen, right? Okay, so
Yes.
yeah, so basically we got a chance to understand the architecture of the two versions of AnyAUT, and we were able to get a quick walkthrough of both of these applications. And you know, this is basically what we're trying to do. We're trying to build a framework for AnyAUT Peach that will be efficient, that'll be good, it will be a good design. We are going to be you know, either work with the existing code that we have, or we may even write a lot of the codes just from the scratch. So, you know, some of the prerequisites will be, you know, if you're working on this advanced team that will be working towards the development of AnyAUT Peach and writing the automation scripts to test the functionalities. And you will be, you know, you will be required to know some type of, you know, core Java, and, you know, have experience in automation scripting with Selenium, TestNG, and other than that, we'll even get to possibly work with Maven, GitHub, and Jenkins in order to you know, incorporate the DevOps process. But you know, that's something, the possibilities are there, you know, because you will be free to do you know, I guess build a framework, you know, the way you feel is a good design. You know, we do welcome all you know, all ideas and all innovative ideas, and we just want to see if you can you know, stand out in that team or in that group, and you maybe, you know, have even your team members or even the team lead come help you in this process. And you know, our main goal is to basically enhance AnyAUT Orange, and you know, just build a much better design using different tools for logging, reporting, and maintenance. Will be able to give a much better experience for the user from beginning to end. And it is going to be using today's technologies, the most popular, most used technologies, and it will be something that you know, everyone will be waiting to get their hands on. You know, they can wait to get their hands on. But other than that, I do want to hand it over to Roxana at this point, and maybe she can introduce our team members from the dev team, our development team, and maybe they can share you know, quick insights you know, on what they're working on. Thank you. Roxana?
Thanks, Shagor.
Sure.
Yeah. From offshore, we have Saket here with us from the dev team. We have Varsha from QA team, and also Sindhu, I believe. I'm not sure if Suresh is there. Saket, if you're there, I unmuted you.
Yeah, hi, Roxana.
Hi. So, like, you know, if you have like any questions regarding either Orange or Peach framework, what it's going to be, like, you know, how you want to build it, or how you're going to proceed with the codes. If you want to work with Orange, then maybe, like, you know, you will just go for test execution. And working with Peach, you can either use the existing codes, modify them, like refactor them, or maybe like build it from the scratch. Like any ideas that you have, like any framework that you want to use, just enhance the features from Orange. So if you have any questions, please do let us know, and we'll try our best to answer them.
Okay, Roxana, this is Ashna from iTeLearn team. I see there are a few questions posted by the members. So can the team address it? We can go one by one.
Okay, I have Rakhi here with me,
Sure.
testing lead.
Raki, Saket, or Shagor, anyone who wants to respond to the question can go ahead. The first question is by Taslima Islam, and the question is based on our skill level. We will work on either peach or orange. That is the question
Okay,
she's asking.
okay, let me
Based on
answer that.
yes,
All right. Hi.
Roxana, I would like to. I would request you to open a Word document or a notepad and please pose this question so that everyone is seeing the question, just in case they missed hearing it. And you can just copy and paste this question from the chat and answer it. So this is the question she has. Based on our skill level, we will work on either peach or orange. Okay. Let me just help you, Roxana. Question. 1 second. I have added the question on chat. I hope you could, you know. Okay.
Hi, Rusana, are you going to take up the questions or is Raki?
Shagor, there's anyone who can answer the question.
Oh, I can answer Taslima. I can answer Taslima.
Sure.
Hi, thanks Taslima for your question. So yes, it is based on your skills level, as Shagor indicated earlier, like those who are at basic or intermediate level of Selenium frameworks or Java, coding programming languages. They can execute tests. They can work with AnyAUT Orange application. And those who would like to challenge themselves, go for advanced, programming, do some coding and writing codes, they can go for Peach. Did I answer your question, Taslima? Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, great. Maybe we can look at some questions from before. I don't know if we were able to go over everything. But I think Uday had a question. If we are going to have the sessions at the same time. Uday, at this point, we haven't finalized the time for the paid sessions yet. But once we get to a decision, we'll definitely send out an email, and we'll notify you guys to let you know what the timing is. And I hope you will be able to attend. I know you're interested in attending the performance testing live session. So I hope it will not have a conflict. We'll definitely try our best to make sure it doesn't have a conflict and you're able to attend both of those sessions. Okay, I hope that answers your question, Uday. And looking forward to seeing you and everyone else in the paid sessions for this live project. Okay, and let's see.
There is one more question by Aradhana Shagor. If Shagor or anyone else would like to answer this question, which framework are we going to use as part of the project? I guess she means which framework are we going to use?
Okay, sure. Yes, I can help answer that question. Aradhana, thank you so much for your question, by the way. And basically, we don't, in this live project, we would like you to lead the project. What I mean by that is, what I mentioned earlier, that you will be given the freedom to express your ideas, express your your design, which framework you think is going to be good for this project, right? So if you feel, based on your knowledge and your skills, you feel that you can build a good framework for AnyAUT Peach, either using keyword-driven or data-driven, or even a hybrid framework, or anything else you can think of. I mean, whatever you think is a good design, you can definitely make the suggestion within the team, within the team that you're going to be placed with, and you can also discuss it with the team lead, and eventually, you guys can come to a decision on which framework to use. For example, in our past live projects, we had different teams work on different framework. So you can accomplish the same goal, or something even better, using different types of framework. So it's up to you, and AnyAUT Orange was developed based on a hybrid framework. So you can possibly use that same concept with AnyAUT Peach, unless you're comfortable using a specific type of framework. So I hope that answers your question, and looking forward to seeing you in the live project as well. Looking forward to working with you all.
Okay. I
Hi,
see
Shraddha.
a few hand raised team, that is Divya and Harsh Rizwan. So just give me a few minutes. We will first answer the questions that are there on the chat questions box, and then we would definitely come back and unmute you. So yes, we would take your questions, but there are a few more questions. So Ruxana, can you go ahead with the next question?
Hi, team. This is Rakhi.
Okay.
Before going to answer all the question, I would like to clear a few things up. Hi, team, and all the team member and the participants. Thank you for joining our session today. As you can see, we are giving you opportunity to work with two projects. One project is AnyAUT Peach, and one is AnyAUT Orange. So when you are going for interview, yeah, or if you can, when you are like searching for job, I hope you are already familiar with two job position. One is a QA tester and one is framework architect. So anyone who wants to work as a QA tester or automation tester, QA Peach is not for them. QA Orange framework is good for them, because when you are going to join any company, they already have their framework. And all of you, when you are join, all you need to do using their framework, you have to execute your test cases. It's focused only for testing. And the person who wants to join as an architect, who wants to, and his responsibility will be to develop a framework, a totally architecture. So that challenge, who is looking for anything for developing architect, the AnyAUT Peach project is for them. So it's up to you which challenge you are ready to take. Are you going for tester or are you going for architect? I hope I clear all of your questions.
Thank you, Raki.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that clarification. I appreciate it. Raki is actually one of our team leads as well, so glad to hear from her, and hope that answers some of our questions. And we do have a few other questions. I can take a look at this next question. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so our next question, let's see, comes from Divya. Divya wanted to see if we can post the Google document where participants would need to put in their information. Either Ruxana or Ashna, if you can find the link and maybe share this with the participants in the chat, they can definitely help us get some information from them. That way we can better place them in the teams, and also based on their time zones. So if we can do that for Divya and rest of the team, that will be great. Okay.
Yes, we'll take care of that, Shagor.
All right, thank you. And so I'll move on to the next question. Let's see here. I think Jayaprada had the same question about which framework will we use. I think we've gone over that. Hopefully your question was answered. If not, you can definitely rewatch the video. Basically, we'll have the independent, we'll be independent to choose, whichever framework we feel is the right one that would be appropriate for AnyAUT Peach. So you will be able to use and make suggestions and use the framework that you feel is the right design. Other than that, I do have the next question. Now, Rasagna had a question. It says, hi, for Selenium Orange, would we be writing the Selenium test scripts, or is it just the test execution? Now, I think you meant AnyAUT Orange, understood. But in AnyAUT Orange, the benefit is that you will not have to write any Selenium scripts at all, because all of that is actually done for you by the development team in the background. So whenever you're inputting your information here to create your test cases, as you can see on my screen here, and you're creating your reusable components using your XPath and CSS, and all that information. As you can see, there are some test cases created here. And so basically what happens is when we complete our test setup and we export this data onto an Excel file, Excel file gets generated with everything included, all of your information included. What happens is, using this information, there's a code, all the codes are in the background, that is incorporated with this tool. So when we use the local PC driver for the AnyAUT software, and using this data that we get from our test setup, we can actually have those test cases ran through those scripts. So no, you cannot, you don't have to use, you don't have to write the scripts yourself. However, having said that, if you feel like you want to just use this tool to complete your test setup, and from that point on, you want to create, the test, what do you call it, the automation scripts using Selenium and Java, you're more than welcome to do that. So you can do that, and if you feel like you can build a proper framework using Selenium Java, you can do that as well. Not a problem. Other than that, let's see if we can get to the next question. I hope that answered your question. If you do have any other question, please feel free to post it in the chat. We have the next question from, let's see, from Ranjit. Let's see. Okay, so this question says, actually, I think I have missed this one, so I'll put it here and I'll come back to the other question. So it says, can you please elaborate what exactly do we do in our live project? So live project, compared to, let's say, a live training or a dummy project. So when we attend a live training seminar, right, what we do is basically understand all the concepts, get introduced to all the concepts, learn all the concepts, get hands-on experience with examples and homework assignments or mini assignments or whatnot. Right now, you will be working with applications on how to, I guess, figure out which modules that you're going to work with, which test cases you need, your negative test data, positive test data, right? Your scope of testing. Eventually, you get an experience. You even pick an application. You find out how to locate the elements. You figure out how to even start writing Selenium, commands using Java, Eclipse, and all of that, right? You create your scripts, you even run your scripts and all of that. Now, after that, what comes into the picture? You want to work on a project, right? Now, you can work on a dummy project, and dummy projects are great because it's a sample application. You can actually do a complete, you can get a complete testing experience using a dummy project. But what is the difference with, between that and a live project, right? Now, live project, you are working in real-time environment. You're working with the dev team. You're working, you're logging your defects. So unlike a dummy application where you may not find a lot of defects that you need to report and follow up and, have the development team fix it, and then you can check the status on it and close it. So you don't get the full experience. However, on a live project, you are working on a project that is built, being built in real time. So it's not, you're actually working with a real application with real teams that are working on it. So that is the difference between dummy project and a live project. And to elaborate a little bit more, in a live project, you not only get to work on the application, work on an application that needs QA testing, right? But also you are able to work with different teams. You are able to work as a team member as well as individually. But you just get a much better experience, much stronger experience for you to showcase on a resume or in an interview. So life project, you never want to give up an opportunity to work on, because that is where you basically make the next step towards your career level, right? So that, I hope that answers your question, Ranjit, sorry. And yes,
Shagor,
go ahead.
if I could add to that, please.
Sure.
Few members, they could not attend the last session. So like how this works, I would just like to if I can share my screen.
Oh, sure. Yes. Let me go ahead and stop sharing mine, and you can become the presenter. Yes, thanks.
Okay, all right. So this question is related to like some of the questions that have been posed by a few members who could not make it on the first day. So how we do it, I'll just go very fast. We divide the teams based on the skills levels. So if we have few members who would like to execute test cases, test on like automate tests, then they will go for AnyAUT Orange. And like a few others who would be interested in developing codes, they will go for Peach. So we will divide them, and you will have your respective team leads. And as I said that earlier, that we will try our best to divide the teams according to the time zone, so that you can keep it's easier for you to communicate with each other, and everything will be decided by you within the team. We are not going to assign you tell you that you do this, you do that, you work with this framework or that framework. If you want to introduce Git, it's everything is up to you, and all of you should be like actively participating, because it's a team effort. And how you will you have to interact regularly, almost daily. Use Skype, WhatsApp, whatever for daily communication, and maintain everything at Google Drive. That's what we have been doing for the past few years for our other projects. And twice a week, each team will give updates, so that like all other teams will be present and they get the chance to hear how other teams are performing on their project. So that is, so I just wanted to share that with all of you, because a few questions were raised.
Thank you, Roxana. That was really, really helpful, because that actually reminds me that I would like to add to Ranjit's question about elaborating about the life project. Yes, as Roxana said, we are going to be working in an agile fashion. So that is another experience that you're going to get. You're going to be, going through daily Scrum meetings. You will be making sure you help each other out. You'll be coordinating with offshore team and your team. So there's going to be a lot more that comes into play when you're working with a live project. And I'm sure I'm missing out a few points here and there. And once you start working, you'll see that it's just a really good experience. Yeah, so should we move on to the next question? Hope that answers your question, Ranjit. And should we move on to the next question, Roxana? Roxana,
Yes.
should I share my screen and go to the next question?
Yes, please.
Okay, sure. Okay, sure. Thank you. So next question I have from Vernicia, and it says, I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Do you guys have live session at 7 p.m. CST? It's 10 p.m. now. Just a question. So we are not fully confirmed on the time yet, because we are taking, we had a poll in our last session, and we wanted to know what, you guys, what the participants prefer. And I think the highest vote came in at the evening time, which is 7 9:30 p.m. PST. So I believe if you're looking at Central Time, that would be about 9:30 p.m. CST. So I hope that's not too late for you. But again, the time is not confirmed yet. Nothing is set in stone yet. We're still working on the timing, and as soon as we get a confirmed time, we can definitely let you guys know. And I'm hoping that it will be convenient for you guys. And remember, when you're working in a live project, in an actual job, basically, you will have to coordinate the time. Sometimes you have to shift a little things here and there, and just to make sure you can put your effort in as far as attending the team meetings and all that. But yes, we want to make sure we try to make everyone comfortable or convenient for everyone to join. I hope that answers your question, Bernicia. And if you have any other question, please feel free to put it on chat. Next question is from Anand, and Anand is asking if we are going to automate AnyAUT, Orange, or Peach. So Anand, that's a very good question. And as I mentioned a little earlier, with AnyAUT, yes, you're automating using AnyAUT. So the test cases, even though you're not writing in scripts, you are running automated scripts using AnyAUT Orange and Peach as well. Sorry, but yes, once the Peach version is developed with our advanced team and the development working together side by side, once we have the functionalities come into the picture, we can definitely use AnyAUT, Orange, or actually maybe Selenium would be a much better, or Protractor, tools like Protractor. We can use that to test the functionalities of AnyAUT Peach. So possibilities are there, options are there, suggestions. Definitely feel free to make suggestions, and we'll definitely go with the best choices that are available to us, right? So yes, the independence is there, the freedom is there. This is where you're flexible, and you have that I guess opportunity to showcase your work, work with whatever you want to. So this is a good question. I hope that answers your question.
Hi,
Yes, go ahead.
Shadwar. We forgot to mention one thing. AnyAUT Orange, the tester who is going to use that tool, the person has to has a minimum knowledge of element locator on the web page. That's all they need to execute the test cases. And the tester, when you're going to get an interview, you will get they will ask you how many test cases you are able to execute. So you will get that experience when you are using that AnyAUT Orange. And they will ask you the test case or test suite you're executing, how long it takes. So you will get the exact idea how long you take to execute the test suite. So that's a great opportunity for you, whoever wants to work as a QA tester, to use AnyAUT Orange. And the developing AnyAUT Peach is like, there's no boundary. Like you can apply any combination of framework. I hope all of you have some minimum knowledge or have a very good knowledge about framework. The hybrid framework is one hybrid framework you can build, data-driven framework plus keyword-driven framework, right? And another is you can build phase object factory and data-driven, right? So possibility are there. It's up to you how you are going to develop it, how you are going to accomplish your architect. And this tool has to use in the have to be used in the cloud. All the cloud environment, we wanted to use the Peach. It will be like the enterprise version. So uh, it's up to you how you are going to design, how you are going to architect all of your knowledge. Are you able to challenge? And I wanted to see like how you can accomplish and how you can build the AnyAUT Peach. I hope it's very exciting project. Most of them were
Raki, I
looking for.
think you've just answered like one of the questions that
Oh,
came
I
just now.
did. Okay.
The question is, at the end of the live project, will we all become excellent automation testers, or like and like / developers. So I think you fully answered that question. Thank
Yeah,
you.
this is the place you are going to execute your knowledge. You are going to see how like you can test yourself, like how much you're ready, and your innovation is sky, right? I am so excited.
Okay, great. Thank you, Raki. That was very
Welcome.
helpful. And thank you, Roxana. And if you would like, I can continue with the questions. Or
Sorry to interrupt, Shagor.
sure.
I just like wanted to share with everyone. I posted a link on the chat. If you could just fill it up, this is skills gap analysis, and it's going to help us to divide the teams accordingly, also based on your skills level. Please do it, and if it can be done before Monday, that will be great. Thank you. Yes, Shagor.
Yes, thank you. That will really help in order to know who you are, where you're located, how can we best place you in the right team. But moving on, just want to get to the rest of the questions, make sure everyone gets their questions answered. Let's see. So the next question would be, this is a very good question. Neha has a question. Hi, if we decide to go with Peach initially, and for some reason find it too challenging, is it possible to switch to Orange? Sure, why not? I mean, if you want to take that, I guess take that opportunity to go for Peach. If you feel that you're, if you're ready to go for that, and even if you're not ready, don't ever be afraid to try something, right? So if you want to go for the advanced team and try to get a hands-on experience with AnyAUT Peach and see how you can keep up with the team, even if you are not an expert, not an issue, right? Because you have some expertise, that some skills that can be definitely beneficial to the team. So not everybody on the team is an expert. Not everybody knows exactly all the tools that is needed to make the project come alive, or make have the application come alive, right? But everybody has something to offer. So yes, I would say, if you have even what do you call it, just just the initial intention to try for Peach, go for it, go for it. And then yes, let's say for some reason you feel like you're not able to keep up, whatnot. I'm sure that is not going to be a problem. But let's say if you wanted to switch over to a intermediate team, who are working with AnyAUT Orange, you're more than welcome to. That is never an issue. We want to make sure you're comfortable, you're able to you're able to create using your own comfort zone, right? So we want to make sure you're okay. So I hope that answers your question, Neha, and hoping to see you and everyone else in the live project. And next question would be, it says, like most of the team members know, actually, let me see, give me 1 second, let me see who this is. So from Divya. Divya has a question, and it says, I'll post it here. It says, like most of the team members know, we are working in testing the AnyAUT Peach interface. So can I be part of the AnyAUT Peach team? Please suggest. Divya, yes, Divya is actually one of our live project members that worked on a previous project on Just Done. That is another product that iTeLearn is working with. So she definitely has the knowledge and I believe definitely the skill set to be part of the AnyAUT Peach team. I would definitely welcome you to join that advanced team in order to work with the development team and the team members that have their skill levels up to that expectation. But yes, you're definitely welcome to join that team. Okay, Divya, I hope that answers your question.
Shagor, Ashna from iTeLearn team. Team, I see two people have raised their hand. One is Divya and one is Vanessa. So they have been waiting from a while. I think Divya's question has been responded. Vanessa, do you want me to unmute you and you can go ahead if you have any questions? I have just unmuted you. Do you have any questions? Hello?
Hello, I'm here.
Yeah. Do you have any questions? No. All right. So I see your hand raised, and that is the reason we are.
Thank you, Vernisha.
Okay, I think Shagor, we can go ahead then, because these were the only two hands raised, and Divya's question has been responded, and Vernisha has no question. So if there are any other questions, we can go ahead with it.
Sure. And Divya, if you have any other question, or if you want to speak, you just raise your hand or post it in the chat. Next question. Let me see here.
Shagor, there's a question regarding element locators. I think Sakit will be able to answer that.
Sure.
Is posted by Rizwan, I think.
Sure, please, Sakit.
The question is, I think we are maintaining element locators in separate Excel file. So every time if element locators gets exchanged, do we need to make changes in Excel and upload again to AnyAUT, or is there a way in AnyAUT to handle dynamically? Sakit, you're unmuted.
Sakit, yeah.
We like every time when the locators get changed, we just need to change in the Excel sheet. That's it. And there is no need to upload the Excel file again in the AnyAUT.
Does that answer your question, Rizwan? Maybe yes, because I have not got any response. Thanks, Sakit. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Sakit.
Yes, yeah, you answered him. Yes, thanks.
Okay, great. So yes, if your question is answered, please do let us know. If you have any other questions regarding that, please feel free to ask. Let's see here. Next question is from, let's see. Sujata. Sujata is asking, when will the actual live project start? Sujata, we are aiming for next week, but I would suggest to you that please wait for our iTeLearn team to send out an email confirming the time and confirming the exact date and the schedule, of the live project. So I would say you'll definitely hear something by the end of the week. If not, definitely by next week, early next week, and at least we'll get an idea what to expect in the upcoming week. Okay. So please do stay with us, and hopefully we'll get to see you in the live project. Okay, and hope that answers your question, Sujata. And let's see. Okay. All right, so next question would be from Sujata again, and actually she's asking if she is 50% familiar with Selenium, and am I capable or to opt for AnyAUT Peach? I would say if you're 50% familiar with Selenium and if you have a good understanding of the core Java concepts, object-oriented concepts, you're able to write scripts and automate scripts, as well as creating reusable functions properly. Basically have some hands-on experience, writing codes, you are definitely capable of participating in the AnyAUT Peach project, Peach team actually. So, you're definitely welcome. Again, if you feel that you have something to offer, you're never going to be, pushed away from any team. So wherever you feel is comfortable, go for it, more than welcome. Again, you have that flexibility to move within the team if you feel that you're really struggling and you're not getting the experience that you want. We want you to be comfortable and we want you to succeed in this project. So we'll definitely looking forward to seeing you, Sujata. All right, hope that answers your question. And yes, we have already looked at the next question from Rizwan. Thank you, Sakit, for that. And I'll just post it here anyway, just so we know. And let's see, moving on to the next question. We have A question from Rasagna again, and this is, I'll
Uh,
post it here. I
Shagar,
will-
sorry to interrupt. Maybe this is the last question that we can take up, and any other questions, we can email them.
Yeah, sure, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
Yes.
you.
So this question, last question that we're looking at is, Rasagna says, for any job I would apply, most probably they don't have any AnyAUT. We would be using Eclipse to write scripts or for framework. How would how would it help working on AnyAUT if I apply for a Selenium automation tester job? Excellent question. And the way I would, I would answer that to you is yes, using Selenium, writing scripts, applying for automation tester job, sure, it's helpful, right? And again, it's something that we are not going to stop you from doing. So if you want to write your Selenium codes, as I mentioned, you're more than welcome to, right? But the reason we're focusing on AnyAUT is because you'll see once you start using AnyAUT, it will save you so much time, right? And again, it's not going to take anything from anything away from the experience, because you're still looking at the whole flow, the whole QA analysis flow, right? So you're doing the element identification. Well, actually, even from the beginning, you're creating the modules, creating the test cases, writing the test steps, right? You're looking at test data. You're looking at the scope of testing. You're what do you call it? You're creating the reusable components. You're working with element identification, XPath, CSS, right? And then eventually you are executing these tests. And yes, at that point, yeah, even though you're not writing the scripts yourself, but you're getting a fair idea on what's going on in the background, right? And again, at this point, remember I said, if you want to stop there, stop using AnyAUT and write your own Selenium scripts to automate the steps, you're more than welcome to. But you will get to compare both tools. Now, how would it help when you apply for a job? Now, again, Selenium, yes, it's a popular tool. It's something most of the employers, or a lot of the employers, know about and expect you to know about, right? But you're working with AnyAUT, right? It's a different tool. So when you talk about AnyAUT, now they're gonna see, hey, you know what? It's a much more efficient tool, and this person, right? He or she is able to learn this tool, use this tool effectively, and use it on a project effectively, and actually, come out of it successfully, right? And able to talk about this project and have hands-on experience working on with teams, working in an agile fashion, right? So all of this is definitely going to bring the wow factor to your resume, right? And it doesn't matter which tool you work with. It's important what you have accomplished using that tool. So yes, Selenium could be an industry, I guess, a popular tool in the industry, but there are many tools just like Selenium, right? AnyAUT would be something like that, or even something better, right? Because it's much easier to work with. So keep that in mind, and hopefully on your next automation tested job, you will be able to talk about it. And again, you can still write your Selenium scripts, in this project, even in the interview.
Shagar?
Yes.
No, after you.
Sure, Raki. No, please go ahead if you have something to add.
Yeah. When you are going to work for any company, you are not allowed to touch their framework. And so that's the reason if you are using any page, it will help you, because when you are going that working for that company, you are going to only execute their test cases. They have the total control of the framework, so you are not going to touch their framework. All you have to do to execute that framework. So that experience you are going to get it from AnyAUT page, no, sorry, AnyAUT orange. How to using the tool, you're going to execute your test cases, because you are going to the whole project that you are going to know how to break it into the module, how to write a test case, how to write test steps, how to execute it, and how to capture the defect, and how to analyze the defect, how to analyze the metrics, and how to report. So all of this experience a tester needs, right? So who wants to work with the, like as a tester, not like I said before, not an architect, just a tester who just will be executing the automation script. So AnyAUT Orange tools will build that skill for you. How many tests you can execute it per day? How, like, your execution skill will be developed using AnyAUT Orange. And if you wanted to, like, develop any, like, your developing skill, then AnyAUT Teach is there. And who wants to take this challenge? We have already existing framework, so you are able to see that framework, you are able to analyze that framework, you can see that how AnyAUT Teach framework is built on, and how you are going to improve that Teach framework is up to you. I hope I answered your question. This tutorial is definitely going to help you for your career, and definitely is going to help you when you are going for any interview, because it's a real-time environment. You are working the project which is developing, right? It was a release, and you are communicating with the dev team, you are finding the defects, you are analyzing the defects on a time frame. Shagor, I think I answered the question.
Okay, Raki. Yeah, thank you so much for that. So yes, I mean, these are some great questions, and I hope we were able to get through most of the important questions. I know we missed a few here and there, and we would love to take up all of your questions, but I know it's getting a little late for some of the participants. So we do want to let you know we can address your questions in the next session. We are going to start our paid session, so please do, if you have any question, still you can still forward it to our team at learn@iTeLearn.com, and we'll definitely try to get you as soon as possible. We'll get you the answer that you're looking for. But other than that, I do want to thank you from my end, for joining our session, and definitely welcome you on this journey, and grow together through this wonderful project that we are looking to start. Other than that, I'll hand it over to Roxana, and thank you so much for the dev team, and thank you for all the team leads. Thank you to all the participants for joining. Okay, Roxana?
Yeah, thanks so much, Shagor, Raki, Minal, Sridevi, and especially Ashna, and of course our offshore dev team and Q team, and all the participants who attended today. Thank you so much. So we look forward to the paid sessions. That's going to be most probably next Monday, but you will get an email of only the paid members, the registered members will get link to join the webinar. So thank you all, and if you could please fill up the information on the Google Sheet that was provided earlier, that will really help us to divide the team as per the skill set. And as Shagor said, if you have any questions, please do forward to iTeLearn team, and we will address them. So thank you all. We look forward to the day one session next week. All right, so good night. Bye. Anyone else? Ashna, you want to